probably noticed the last couple of videos I've been kind of working in my studio doing this, and that's primarily because my youngest son is in the living room and he's trying to do some videos as well because he also has a YouTube channel. So he's in the living room, doing some games and trying to put together some content for his channel. So in the meantime, I'm in my studio and I'm just kind of trying to use this as a backdrop. But I wanted to share some items that I got today. I went to the local herbal store called Mrs. Mango's, which I frequent because I get a lot of my herbal remedies there. So I wanted to share some items with you that I purchased there. All right, so the first thing I wanted to share with you was the raw honey that I purchased. And I get the wildflower raw honey. There are others that you can get, but I just personally prefer the wildflower. So I got that today. And I use the raw honey to sweeten so many things. When I'm making my elderberry syrup, I use wild raw honey in there. I use it in tea, so lots of different things. I also picked up some of my favorite little things to snack on, but it's good for so many reasons. This is crystallized ginger. So I always pick up a packet of that. Ginger, as you know, is a great anti-inflammatory herb, spice, whatever it is that you want to refer to it as. So I always manage to have some of that around. So I picked some of that up. Now, this is also ginger, but this is dark chocolate covered ginger. It's absolutely delicious. And it's good for you. So can't go wrong there, can you? This is the dark chocolate over ginger. The other thing I picked up was some more white sage incense cones. I don't always use the just the sage bundles. Sometimes I use the incense cones as well. So I picked up a packet of that. And I also had a few blends made. Now this is one that my son uses in the shower, and it's made with peppermint, lavender, frankincense, and eucalyptus. And it's basically to help to clear out the sinuses, because in the morning, whenever he gets up, is usually really stuffy. So when he's showering, we just put a couple drops of this on a bath rag, lay it at the bottom of the shower, and as the warm water hits it, it sends out, the essential oils just kind of travel on the steam, and really does help to clear his head. So I got that particular blend made or remade today because I've made this now probably the last year or so, and I just keep taking it there and having it remade. So I had that done. I also made another essential oil blend, and this one is let me just take it out of the little bag. This one I call Fire and Ice because it warms you up as well as cooling you down whenever you have it on your skin. Now what you're looking at here is pure essential oil, but I will add this to a half a cup of trauma oil and make that blend so it will become like a massage oil. You don't want to put this blend directly on your skin because this is a very, very potent blend of essential oils. And what's in here, let me just tell you, we've got eucalyptus. I have my blend written down. Eucalyptus, peppermint, wintergreen, cinnamon, and cloves. So it's a very strong, very powerful blend. And then what I'll do is I'll mix this in with a half a cup of the trauma oil. So I had that made today. And let's see what else. I also remade my sage spritzer, but I made it a little bit more powerful this time. When I asked Mrs. Mango or Annika at Mrs. Mango to make this for me, it was basically just sage essential oil with the have vodka and other things that are put in there. But this time I wanted to go a little bit further, and I requested a piece of Palo Santo stick to be put in there, as well as a piece of black tourmaline crystal, which you're looking at right there. And there is also a piece of clear quartz. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a piece of clear quartz which helps to magnify the energies that is coming from the black tourmaline, as well as magnify the energy from the sage um, oil that is in here, the sage essential oil that's in here, as well as the Palo Santo stick. So this is now a very powerful um, protector. So whenever I'm around, people who are really going to like drain my energy, I make sure I use this before and I use it after, and I use it several times during the day. It's just one of those things that you want to do, is always protect your own energy, because there are energy vampires out there, and this is one of the ways that I protect myself. I always have a piece of black tourmaline in my pocket or somewhere in my hand or in my purse, because it's also good if you're around computers a lot. It helps with those EMF um, rays. So I had that remade today. And I also picked up a packet of their liver blend, the liver capsules. I take these in addition to quite a few other capsules, but this is the one that I picked up today. And in this blend we have milk thistle, wild yam, Oregon grape root, licorice root, and dandelion root, and all of these herbs are good for the liver, for detoxing the liver. So this is one that I always take. Any kind of bitter herbs are always good for the liver. That's one of the ways that you know what is good for the liver. Is it bitter? Chances are it's good for the liver. Dandelion root is one of the bitter herbs, and that is very, very good for the liver, in addition to everything else that's on here. Milk thistle is one of the top herbs for detoxing or taking care of the liver. So I picked up that package. And I also made there's a full moon that's coming up on Sunday, and I usually burn incense during the full moon, as well as other times during the year, not necessarily on a full moon. But I went ahead and I had this special incense made, and I initially have them made in these plastic bags, and then I transfer them into a glass container once I get here. But I wanted to go ahead and share this with you. So this coming Sunday is the April full moon. It's called the pink moon. In the Mexican culture, it's also called the Mayan moon. So I made a particular incense that's kind of honoring the Mayan culture. So in here, what you're looking at is chicory, is wormwood, prickly ash, and the prickly ash was locally harvested today from the prickly ash tree in the backyard of the business called Mrs. Mango. The prickly ash is actually the nickname for it is a toothache tree, and that's because if you take the pieces off and you break them up and apply to a toothache, it will actually take the pain away. It numbs it, and this is what was used before Novocaine was invented. So there's prickly ash in here, calendula is in here, reishi mushroom, chamomile, mugwort, and cacao powder. We all know that the Mayans absolutely loved cacao. They used the cacao to make um, this particular drink as part of their rituals, their ceremonies. So I made this particular blend to kind of honor the Mayan culture. So I will be using this on Sunday during the upcoming full moon. The last thing I wanted to share with you were a few crystals that I also purchased. It's an herbal store, but you can get lots of different metaphysical items there. So let me just take these out. There are a few things I wanted to share with you. This nice little chunk here, this is honey calcite, and doesn't it just look like a nice chunk of honey that's been, solidified? It's beautiful. It has almost a slippery feel like honey would if it did go hard. But that's honey calcite. So I picked up that one. I also picked up, and I don't want to take these out because they're actually like little pieces. This is peridot, which I'm going to use to make some candles, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. I also have a piece of carnelian, and carnelian is one of those that I will be using on May 1st for May Day during the Beltane celebration. I also have a piece of red jasper. I'm really hoping that the color is coming across because these gemstones are beautiful, but I'm not sure if the color is coming across really well at all. That's a piece of red jasper. Let me put those one side. And I also picked up some citrine. These are two pieces of citrine. I think it's because the light is coming from above. There's a piece of citrine, and then here's another piece of the citrine. Maybe a little bit better here. And I also picked up, and this is obsidian, and this is called snowflake obsidian. You see if you can see why. See the little white specks that are in there? Snowflake obsidian. I have another piece. I just got some small pieces of this. Snowflake obsidian. And then I've been wanting a piece like this, and I finally got it. I do have a piece of selenite, but I wanted a selenite wand, and I picked this one up today. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, it's very, very powerful crystal. Very powerful. So I picked that up today as well. So let me go ahead and put these away. I mentioned that I'm going to be making some candles, and I'm going to be rolling the peridot crystals into the candle itself because I'm going to be using it during a manifestation. So that's the main reason why I have those tiny pieces of the peridot. So what I'm going to be doing is I purchased some beeswax sheets. So I'm going to be using these to roll some candles, and I have the wicks. These are the wicks for it. And when I'm making those candles, I'm going to share that with you as well. So these are the 2 sheets. Got 2 sheets here, and the wicks to go along with that. And then what I'm going to be doing is, as I'm rolling them, when I get towards the end, I'm going to be placing a few pieces of the peridot crystals inside, so that as the candle burns, it releases the energy of the peridot crystals. And peridot is one of the stones whenever you want to manifest money or any kind of financial manifestation that you're trying to do. Citrine is also a stone that you can use to manifest money, and there are citrine and malachite is another one that I usually am wearing a malachite ring, and I always have an emerald in my ear. Green obviously is the color of money, so that's why I usually have these on. Well, that's not why I have them on. I wear emerald because it's one of my birthstones, and I wear malachite because I absolutely just adore malachite. This is one of the stones that I'm always drawn to, so I love that. But green stones are typically stones for manifesting financial abundance. So that is what I wanted to share with you. That was like a different haul. Basically the haul from my local herbal store. So if you have any questions about anything that I've shared with you, please feel free to post them in the comments below, and I will answer them as best as I can. I use a lot of herbal remedies because I've been diagnosed with quite a few things. Lupus is just one of them. And like I said, I've been diagnosed, but I don't claim them. and that's one of the things I get away from. I don't take ownership of any of these things, and I try to use the power of herbal remedies and the power of any of natural remedies to alleviate any of the symptoms that I may experience from time to time. So if you have any kind of questions about anything that I'm using, please feel free to post and I will let you know how I use them. If you want to see a video on any of the specific things in here, on just one of those things, please let me know and I will gladly go ahead and do a video on those. In the meantime, if you are not a subscriber of this channel as yet, I would love for you to join the family. Simply click the red subscribe button below and you will instantly be part of my family. I not only post videos about, herbal remedies, I also post videos about gardening. I have a small farm in the backyard. I also homeschool my youngest son. I'm an artist, and what you see behind me is a view of my studio. So there's a lot of parts to me. I wear a lot of different hats, so there's always something different for you to see on my channel. So please go ahead and click that subscribe button. Also click the bell so that you'll be notified whenever I upload new content. So I really appreciate you being here. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for liking the video and for sharing it out for those who may be interested in seeing the content that I am sharing with you. I will see you again real soon. Thank you again for being here and see you again in the next video.
Yep, like I was saying, this is the prickly ash tree. It's also called a toothache tree. These little pieces here break off. You can make them into a powder, and if you have toothache, you can just put it on there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get a couple. Let me see if I can break it off easily. Might not be able to. I might have to use a knife. Yeah, I might have to go and get a knife. I actually managed to pop this one off pretty easily. It's from right here because it already, they were already cutting off pieces for demos. So this one popped off pretty easily. And apparently, if you put it on any part of your mouth, it creates like a numbing effect. This is what they used before Novocaine. Oops, I dropped it. And there's another large one right there. Quite a few of them. A few more over here as well. I'm not going to go much closer because I see lots of cobweb. But you see how tall that tree is. And that's the prickly ash tree or the toothache tree.